and that was it.
Okay, well this is probably the same case here.
But under the Terrorism Act, you filming sensitive things can be deemed as hostile reconnaissance.
No, it can't, mate. What section are you referring to? You said Terrorist Act. What section are you referring to?
It's not got an act, it's just filming police vehicles.
What do you mean it's not got an act? You said Terrorist Act 2000. Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down a sharp encounter from Boxing Incarnate. So be sure to check out his channel and show support. In this clip from Tottenham, an officer jumps out his van to challenge a citizen for lawfully filming in public, immediately escalating with buzzwords like hostile reconnaissance and the Terrorism Act, even suggesting the color of paving stones affects your rights. Watch as the auditor calmly stands his ground, corrects the officer on the law, and exposes the overreach until the officer has no choice but to back off. Let's get into it.
Can I ask why you were filming the police station?
Yeah, I'm just doing an audit of the police station.
Why?
People are interested in public photography and stuff like that.
Alright, it's just because what you were filming is sensitive.
Okay. I'm on a public footpath.
No, yes, correct, you are.
You didn't mind me filming you in the car?
No problem, you're in a public place.
Yeah.
But when you start pointing the camera towards the police building, like the entrances and exits.
Yeah. I can see it from Google Earth as well.
Also, under the Terrorism Act, it can be perceived that you are doing hostile reconnaissance.
I'm not doing hostile reconnaissance.
Okay, that's why I want to speak to you and clarify what your intention was.
Would someone that would be doing hostile reconnaissance do it in broad daylight? Like,
quite possibly, we don't know. I don't know that.
Don't talk nonsense, mate.
I'm not talking nonsense.
You're talking rubbish, mate. I'm not doing hostile reconnaissance. Don't use words like that.
I can use what I want.
No, don't say that. Don't use words like that.
Okay.
You can't use words like that.
I can.
Hostile reconnaissance. You think this is hostile reconnaissance, yeah?
Can be. It can be.
What, in broad daylight?
Yeah, it can be.
All of this I can see here, I can see from Google Earth. If I was going to do hostile reconnaissance, I'd do it at night.
But then obviously when my colleagues are going into...
Right from the start, we see the classic escalation playbook. Within seconds, the officer jumps from a man standing on a public sidewalk to invoking hostile reconnaissance and the Terrorism Act. That leap matters because Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000 requires reasonable suspicion that someone is actually a terrorist, and simply filming in public doesn't come close to meeting that threshold. The auditor nails it immediately by pointing out the obvious. Google Earth already provides far more detailed and historical views than any handheld camera ever could. If someone genuinely had malicious intent, they wouldn't be advertising it with a camera in broad daylight. What's really happening here is counterterrorism. It's a fishing expedition dressed up in scary language to pressure compliance and extract ID.
Yeah, I can film them, mate. I'm going to keep filming them.
I'm just asking you why.
I've told you I'm doing an audit of the police station.
Of Tottenham? Of all the police stations?
I don't have to answer questions. Are we done?
Yeah, just don't go past that. You see that building line there?
Why not?
That is private property. Is
it? Where does it say that?
It's denoted by the different colour of the line.
Is it?
See, for council parking purposes, this is private property, and this is public property.
I don't know anything about that, to be fair, so I'm not going to argue about that. Alright, fair enough. I can't argue something I don't know, but...
Okay, that's fine. So you can be here all day filming, but as soon as you point your camera at the back doors...
I can film anything I can see from public, mate.
That's fine.
I'm not trying to wind you up, I'm just telling you, like...
Yeah, but
it is what it is, you know what I mean?
Also, in the current climate, people filming...
What current climate's that?
The threat level we're in.
Okay, what is the current climate? Please explain the current climate.
Oh, here we go. The magic pavement defense. The officer seriously suggests that a slightly different shade of gray stone creates some kind of invisible force field where your rights suddenly disappear. Here's the simple rule. If you're standing in a public place, you're generally allowed to photograph what you can see from there. When that argument collapses, the officer pivots to the vaguest excuse in policing, the current climate. That's usually code for I don't have a law to stop you, but I'd like you to comply anyway. It's an attempt to substitute implied fear for actual legal authority. The auditor sees straight through it. There's no law that makes filming the back of a police station illegal any more than filming the front. It's a building, not a nuclear launch facility. And discomfort doesn't create new power.
You see what's happened in the last couple of days in European countries as well?
Yeah, I see we've got a problem with jihadi terrorists. Yeah? What, when was the last time we had a jihadi attack here?
London Bridge?
Yeah, November last year. And that guy was released from prison. He served half his sentence and he was released from prison. Now, unless you suspect me of being a jihadi terrorist, I suggest, then why are you using words like current climate and stuff then?
because I was talking to you just to make.
Oh, you said hostile reconnaissance. You said terrorist act.
So
you
when
said
people-
current climate.
when people
Come on,
put-
mate.
When people put
Come on,
cameras at police
No, that's
stations,
not cool, mate. That's not cool. Don't say stuff like that.
I can say what I want.
I understand. Like, it's
Just like
free
you
freedom
can.
of speech,
Exactly.
of course.
Thank you very much.
No, but I'm not disputing that. But it's
Okay.
just a little bit insensitive to be using
But
words
when
like terrorist and
people
stuff.
start pointing the cameras at police stations,
Yeah, but it's not a malicious intent, is it?
but me to speak to you, to engage with, if you're saying I just like filming police stations, all right, you may have a hobby of taking pictures of different police stations. That's fair enough. We've got no problem with that.
Then why have you used those other like buzzwords?
Because I come over to you to speak to you, to engage with you, because you filming the police car, the police van stopped up there. Got no problem. You're not pointing at anything that's sensitive.
Officer tries to lecture the auditor about threat levels, only to be outpaced by someone who actually knows the recent history. When the auditor calmly references the London Bridge attack and the context around prisoner releases, it flips the script completely. Suddenly, the officer who introduced terrorism and hostile reconnaissance looks flustered when those claims are taken seriously and examined. That contradiction is the point. The moment terrorism is treated as a real standard rather than a scare tactic, the officer retreats. The auditor's response isn't disrespectful, it's corrective. He makes it clear that invoking extreme labels without evidence isn't just sloppy policing, it's insensitive and absurd. By staying composed and factual, the auditor takes control of the narrative and exposes how empty the officer's claims really are.
Like the number plate, that might be sensitive.
No.
No?
Because
Alright.
reason
The story's
being,
not adding up, mate. There's too many
vehicle is not
inconsistencies, mate.
The vehicle number plate is not sensitive because you can't access the database to find out what that vehicle is. And if you do check that number plate, that just says it's a police van.
Alright, well, if you're happy that...
So, and this is a lovely big marked vehicle, so it's nothing secretive about it.
Alright.
But I want to speak to people who start filming people, police staff going in and out of buildings.
Not interested in
I
any
don't
police
know
staff.
until I speak to you. Yeah?
When was a police station has never been targeted by a terrorist in this country?
Doesn't matter.
Since what, the
Does not
IRA,
matter.
1980s?
Does
Of
not
course it
matter.
matters,
No,
because
no,
we've got
just because it's never happened. doesn't mean it's
extrapolate
never
based
gonna
on...
The officer's reasoning finally collapses under its own weight. Moments after claiming filming is a security risk, he casually admits the number plate isn't sensitive because it openly identifies a police van, exposing the contradiction at the heart of his argument. You can't have it both ways. Either the information is dangerous or it's already public. Once challenged, the officer drops the pretense and admits he just wants to engage, revealing this was never about law or safety. In UK, policing by consent means cooperation is voluntary, not compulsory, and there is no legal duty to entertain an officer's curiosity. What we're really seeing is frustration at being questioned and an attempt to dress personal irritation up as authority.
Things that have happened, do you know what I mean?
Police officers have been attacked
Yeah.
outside of work, and we've had recent on this borough in North area.
Okay.
People filming police officers coming in and going out of their police buildings in Enfield.
Really?
Yes. All right.
Okay, and what has that resulted in?
We stopped, spoke to them, see what they were doing, and that was it.
Okay, well, this is probably the same case here.
But under the Terrorism Act, you filming sensitive things can be deemed as hostile reconnaissance.
No, it can't, mate. What section
It
are you
can.
referring to? You said terrorist act. What section are you referring to?
It's not got an act, it's just filming police vehicles.
What do you mean it's not got an act? You said terrorist
The
act
Terrorism
2000.
Act.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
what section are you referring to? There's different sections of the act,
There
isn't
is.
there?
So if I was to stop and search you under Terrorism Act, it'd be section 43.
Okay, then.
But I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying
I
is
hope you won't.
hostile filming, you could get arrested for...
You couldn't get arrested,
You
mate.
can actually,
You ain't got
yeah.
any grounds. Well, then why don't you do it
I'm
then?
not doing it because I gathered from what you've told me that
Oh,
you're
fair
not
play,
doing
mate.
something...
Fair play. You've used your judgment.
This moment becomes the turning point of the entire encounter. The officer invokes a terrorism law as a threat, yet when pressed to name the exact section, he openly admits there isn't one. An astonishing slip when someone is talking about taking away a citizen's freedom. He then hesitantly mentions section 43, only concede he isn't even applying it, exposing a critical truth that every viewer should understand. If an officer genuinely had legal grounds to arrest, the arrest would already be happening. Instead, the prolonged argument over hostile filming reveals the reality that there is no lawful basis at all, just pressure and intimidation. And in that silence between threats and action, the bluff collapses as the auditor calmly forces the truth into the open.
No, that I'm not a threat. So fair play. But
But if I started filming your house...
you don't live here, mate.
And I'm just saying, if I filmed your house, you would come and speak to me about why you filmed my house.
Yeah, but you don't live here, so it's,
no,
not,
but
it's not the same. You work here, sure. But if you're from public, to be fair, I know the public photography laws.
You go into any other building and you start filming everything, people come and speak to you, ask you what you're doing.
Well, maybe this is the whole point of this.
Alright.
Enlighten people about the public photography laws. Okay.
Alright. As you can see,
Aviation police, yeah?
Exactly.
Alright, fair enough.
So you start filming at the airport, I always take it to ask what you're doing, and you say...
But an airport isn't a public, is it?
It is actually. It's public and private, yeah.
Okay,
Heathrow is... it's a bit
my
of a
understanding that Heathrow was a private place, but...
It is private, but people have public access to it, because it's a transport hub. But it's owned by a private company, therefore it's a private building to a degree.
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
And right on cue, the classic deflection appears. How would you like it if I filmed your house? A comparison that completely collapses under scrutiny. Because this isn't a private home. It's a public servant in uniform standing outside a government building, where privacy simply doesn't apply. This is public space, public duty, public accountability. But then comes a reveal that makes it all make sense. His reference to aviation police, the telltale sign that he's mentally policing Heathrow Terminal 5, where specific bylaws actually do exist, not a public street in Tottenham where they don't. Suddenly the confusion clicks into place, because he's dragging airport security logic onto a street that has nothing to do with runways or restricted zones, misapplying authority where none fits, and in doing so, exposing just how lost he really is. Wrong rulebook, wrong location, wrong argument.
Supermarkets are private, public, like the same analogy. You've got public access. You might as well crack on, to be honest, mate. I don't want to keep you. You might as well crack on.
I just want to make sure you're doing. That's what
Would you mind identifying yourself?
That's my shoulder number.
Is that what you'd say to a judge? What if I can't read, mate?
Shoulder number, you can see that.
What's your name?
SO 3338.
All right, what's your name?
My work number is 231913. That's my definition.
All right, buddy. Have a good day.
And this is the final decisive shift in power. Watch closely who actually ends the encounter. Because it isn't the officer, it's the auditor who calmly dismisses him with, "You might as well crack on," effectively releasing the officers from a situation they no longer control. And in that moment, the reality sets in. The argument is over, the authority play has failed, and the officer switches instantly from confrontation to compliance, producing his shoulder number, so 3338, and his warrant. Details as the law requires of anyone in uniform. The body language tells the rest of the story as he walks away. Shoulders heavy, posture deflated, the unmistakable stride of someone who's just spent 6 minutes debating vague threats and imaginary powers only to gain absolutely nothing before retreating to the van where, at last, the misplaced aviation mindset is grounded, cleared for departure back toward Heathrow, hopefully this time with a map.